What is going on? I'm zmoT, coming to you from the post-apocalyptic world, and that is where Supercell has changed the time zones. So most of you have already seen this for approximately 7 hours. You get me in my raw state. We're going to do some War Factory before coffee, and so you get me a little bit groggy and wonky sounding, but in the aims of getting it out as soon as possible, that's what's going to happen. Let's have a look, see what they've got for us. This is new. There are a lot of Microwav'rs. Holy crow. So this should be fairly straightforward. This is one that you should be able to solo, but it's going to take a little bit of work. Now, instead of trying to solo it, we're going to try and make this as easy as we possibly can. And how we're going to do that is by hacking this rocket launcher and this rocket launcher. And we're going to come at it from the bottom because that's the only way you can get at these without absolute silliness. So we're going to mark this rocket launcher. We're going to drop Everspark underneath smoke. And we're going to flare that rocket launcher. And we're going to throw our smokes as fast as we possibly can. By throwing our smokes very, very quickly, we guarantee that we're not going to get roasted by those Microwav'rs. Now, I don't know if those Microwav'rs are in range or not. I'm going to check the replay here in a second to see if they are, but by shocking them, I guarantee that I don't look like a dummy. And hopefully it makes it so that you guys can see if they're in range or not. Now, I'm going to use all of the rest of my remaining GBE on this laser because I'm going to come in here and clear these left-hand side Microwav'rs. You 100% can shock past them, but by doing it for the low levels, you're not going to want to probably, I don't think, shock past them. So attack number 1, 100% setup, not bad at all. Man, I wish I would have grabbed coffee before I started this. Gonna be dry throat for sure. Now let's just see if we actually have to shock those Microwav'rs. I kind of think it's not gonna be required, but we'll find out here very, very quickly. It's gonna be so close. Now Everspark does have a bit of health, but by, oh, let's just see. It's gonna be so close. It looks like, yes, I'm pretty confident that she is gonna be standing inside that Microwav'rs range. Whereas that one, no, it looks like maybe not actually. Look at that. So if you're very, very careful, you might not have to shock the Microwav'r. Now, the thing is, she has enough health that if you decide not to shock it until she gets into the Microwav'r's range, if she actually does, you should be okay. So might be an idea to not do that. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to pre-throw my smokes. I just about called them snokes. We're going to push the button. Then we're going to flare that shock launcher right there. Now I'm actually going to shock the shock launcher with the Microwav'rs. That way it's not going to stop things from blowing it up. And again, we'll come back and check and see if you actually have to shock that. But I'm fairly confident that you do have to do that. Now we're going to finish barraging that laser, and at this point we can probably just walk up and finish this off because zookas do outrange our friendly neighborhood Microwav'rs, but I'm going to get some extra GBE back here on these mortars first. And now this should be just a cakewalk. We're going to lose some troops to some boom cannons and things, but we're going to be, and you could take this down in 2 for sure as a low level, but I'm going to come back with Everspark. That way Everspark's going to give us a few extra critters, and overall things should be fairly straightforward. A little bit of extra GBE on this machine gun. It shouldn't be in range though. So overall, very, very straightforward War Factory. We're going to try to come back and solo it with my max account in a few minutes. Let's keep going. Okay, so excuse me, we're going to drop a smoke right in here. We're going to drop all of our troops in there as well. They should get underneath there without getting shot in the face, simply because the boom cannon has to keep retargeting. And now that we're underneath here, I'm going to throw a hack out just to get the zookas moving forwards and get the other boom cannons pointing at something else. And you'll notice I am shocking, I am shocking the Microwav'rs. You don't really need to, probably, simply because the zookas will keep walking forwards, and it's just safer. We have to shock something here, so we might as well make it the Microwav'rs. and also sniper towers. Obviously, sniper towers shoot approximately twice as fast as boom cannons, so it's a better idea to shock them than boom cannons. And we're just making our way behind the core, so anyone who has any level troops basically can take this down. Ideally, you have Everspark level 3, which I believe requires you to be XP37, but if you're XP35, you can probably beat this one as well. I know it looks scary with all these glowing Microwav'rs, but not a big deal at all. This is a fairly straightforward war factory. Just gotta get moving, get walking, and get your troops clearing some defenses. So not bad, and the cheap barrage definitely helps. This is one where typically the high levels get the cheap barrage, get the, I should say, get the advantages of artillery and barrage. Because of the barrage tribe, because of the barrage tribe, we end up getting some of the advantages as well. So if you have the barrage tribe, I would suggest boosting it to the max, because it'll help you on this one as well. War Factory in 3 easy, no frills attacks for low levels. Hopefully, you guys, if any of you waited for me to see this, please do let me know. Otherwise, I'm here. It's early morning. I'm going to upload this right now as fast as I can. I'm just going to switch accounts. We'll come back on a maxed account and try and smoke past all of those. Try and smoke past all of those Microwav'rs. I'll be back in just 1 second. How many of you keep turning the music off and on instead of the Supercell? The fact that they moved that button just drives me crazy. The muscle memory was finally there, and then it was gone. So a little bit frustrating for sure. By the way, check out my end screen. Ron G is the latest and greatest Patreon. Ron, thank you for joining and for your support. Obviously, there are multiple ways to support the channel. You can support the channel as a YouTube, I think they call it YouTube member, and then there's Patreon, and then there's now the creator code. So many, many ways to support the channel if you choose to do so. Thank you, Ron, for going the Patreon route. Let's do a solo, shall we? We have to smoke shore, I think. Let's have a quick look. Yes, we have to smoke shore. We have to shock past 3 Microwav'rs, which would be that's a tough shock. That's like a minnow shock right there with an extra space on the right hand side. So I'm going to come up to this corner just to avoid having to do that difficult shock. Is that the best way to do it? I don't know. Realistically, you should be able to land that difficult shock, but I just haven't had coffee yet. So we're not going to be trying the difficult shock this morning. Managed to get all of our troops underneath the smokes for the most part. Now we just need to execute. That is going to be boom, shocking. Okay, so as you can see there, Brick has a bit more health, obviously. So once Brick gets underneath that smoke near to your Microwav'rs, throw the shock. And these next level shocks that we have with HQ23 make getting past Microwav'rs fairly straightforward. I'm going to throw 2 smokes up here, and hopefully we can hit the core. I mean, realistically, there's no rocket launchers in that first row where the Microwav'rs are, so we should be okay. We're going to find out very, very quickly, though. Do we need to shock this rocket launcher? Looks like no. So there we go. Zookas back here pounding on the core, and fairly straightforward solo. It really is nice that you get the opportunities to smoke past those Microwav'rs, because you haven't really gotten that much other than Duplexity. It is here on other operation attacks now, but Duplexity was the primary place where you had to practice shocking past Microwav'rs. So that's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully I am not too late and it is still somewhat useful. Anyways, that's all for me. Thanks for coming in. I'm zmoT. Don't forget all that: like, share, subscribe. Mostly just say hey, let me know what you think about the attacks, how you did it, which troops you used, all that sort of fun stuff. Anyways, I'm zmoT. Thanks for coming in. Peace.